Welcome to the Hair and Scalp Diaries, your ultimate guide to achieving vibrant, healthy hair naturally. With certified trichologist Tara T at Aura. Whether you're dealing with hair loss, scalp issues, or simply want to enhance your hair care routine, we're here to help with holistic remedies and expert advice. Join us as we explore the best natural solutions for both women and men, featuring expert interviews, personal stories, and practical tips. Get ready to unlock the secrets to luscious, healthy hair. Your journey to better hair and scalp health begins right here.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Darryl Elliott of Data Technologies and FireCART. I hope you're having a wonderful, happy Monday today, and we are glad that you could join us. Like, share, and subscribe with someone else. Let them know that the Hair and Scalp Diaries with Tara T is on right now. So do me a favor, make sure you tell everyone. We are appreciative of the feedback we're hearing about our show. So we want to just keep on sharing great information. And our hook is at FireCART Shop. It's on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and also LinkedIn. You can find us on all those platforms. Good afternoon, ladies. How are you today?
Hey, Pastor Darryl, how are you? Hi, Kimberly. How are you doing? Happy Monday. I love you. Your hair is so cute.
Thank you. I'm trying to put it up.
Oh my gosh. Take notes, queens. Protective styles for the summer will save your life. Oh my gosh. I love it. You know, it's hot out there. It's humid. The best thing we can do is to put our hair in something cute. Like what you have, a bun, tuck those ends, protect those curls, protect those edges, and keep it moving. You look so adorable.
Thank you. So do you.
Thank you.
You know, it's hot. It's hot, but I feel like my hair was a little dry today. So I'm like, I'm just going to give it a little tuck in to see if we can keep some moisture. So that's all. And you know, we got to take care of our skin too. So our skin has to get a break.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely a break. Definitely.
Well, fortunately, the weather is not as hot as it's been a few weeks ago. And we're entering into hurricane season. So prayers to all you all down in the southeast of the United States. Make sure you do what you have to do to continue to protect yourself and your families. So guys, what are we talking about this morning?
Kimberly, you want to get in the amazing topic we have today?
Today, we're going to talk about common causes of hair breakage.
Oh boy.
Causes of hair breakage.
Oh boy.
And hair breakage is like a bump in the road. It's a mishap that happens when things are going good, and you can have an occurrence that messes up all your hard work.
Oh yes, all of your hard work. Yes,
it's disappointing, but it happens. And like any other mishaps in life, we got to work on our bounce back, right?
Yes,
our
absolutely.
Game has to be strong.
Absolutely.
And we have to overcome hair breakage.
Absolutely.
So, from your experience as trichologist extraordinaire, expert of hair and scalp issues, what would you say are the most common causes of hair breakage that you have witnessed?
Okay, so yeah, we can definitely go over a few. For anyone that has tuned in, I need you guys to like, comment, and share. Reach out to someone that you know could benefit from this podcast, that you know that is dealing with hair loss, breakage. Call mom and them, call your aunt, call your coworkers, call your family and friends, because we're about to dig into some serious hair issues. We're not on here just to hear ourselves talk. We are here to help you. So before we dig into it, if you know someone who could benefit, please reach out to them and say, hey, we are here live. And we would just love to see you. Come with your comments, come with your questions. So let's get into it. So there are a couple things that can actually cause hair breakage. One of the number one conditions that I see as a trichologist in a clinical setting is styling practices. Like I said, there's a few, but the number one condition, traction alopecia. And I say that lightly because when it comes to traction alopecia, that is normally caused by tight braids and weaves that are either installed too tightly, taken out incorrectly. So when I say traction alopecia, I'm talking about, again, installation, tight braids, tight wigs, tight weaves. But you can have hair breakage from what is called mechanical damage. And I'm going to go through each and every one of those. So mechanical damage is hair breakage that's really caused really by our own detriment, to be honest. Excessive brushing, excessive combing, going to sleep with wet hair. Yes, guys, going to sleep with wet hair can cause hair breakage. So let's go back to the traction alopecia. So again, as a trichologist, the majority of the clients that I see who are suffering with hair breakage is due to the weaves and due to the braids. And when I say weaves, and I'm not a weaver, I don't wear weaves, I don't install weaves. I know a lot of our queens, our sisters do get these installations done. So I see a lot of them when they come into the door. And let me just say this before I get into it. A lot of times when it comes to hair breakage, a lot of times we see it. And when I say see, meaning, we see the breakage in our own hair. And let me just caution, as soon as you see it, seek help. Because a lot of times when people come to me, I don't want to say it's too late, but it has progressed so far to the point where we may have to do a major trim. You may have to undergo some major treatment. And at the first sign of breakage, when you start seeing all this hair in the comb and your hair is thinning out and your edges is just thinning, it hasn't really started receding yet, it's just thinning, seek help. Okay, as soon as you see the first sign of it. So let's get into it. So when it comes to weaves, this is what I see in the clinical setting when clients come to see me. First of all, their hair is braided in that honeycomb. Y'all know what I'm talking about, that honeycomb hairstyle. Uh, so that's the first step, because of course you have to get that done before you can do the weave, because your weave has to be attached to something. So the first sign is that honeycomb shape, which 9 times out of 10 is really, really, really too tight. So when people come here, sometimes their hair is out and I can see it, but many times they will come, because I'll tell people, no, come as you are, because I need to see where the damage is. I need to see, if there's styles that's too tight. So they'll come and sit in front of me with the honeycomb. And a lot of times they will have those little red bumps, along the edge of their nape, which is an indicator to me that the braids are just entirely too tight. So if you're going to a stylist, or even if you're doing it yourself and you're braiding and some kind of honeycomb, or where it's overlapping and you're tucking in order to install the weave, if you start feeling tension and it starts feeling tight, that's an indicator that that is just too much stress on the scalp. So you want to braid loosely, not too tight, because you're going to feel it. And also too, when you're braiding in that honeycomb style, don't braid just your braids too small. Try to keep them as big as you possibly can, because I see a lot of people who come with those tiny braids because they want to do these weaves where it's just maybe 8-9 rows. To me, I think that's just too much. But you want to do them in big braids, and you want to do them as loose as possible. So that's problem number one. That honeycomb shape or that overlapping braid is just really, really too tight. And then what I see is people are gluing in weaves. I understand that's popular. I get it. But I just have to be honest. Glue is just not, it's just not healthy for our scalps. It's just not. It's loaded with chemicals. You are literally gluing something to your scalp. And I know. We're supposed to glue it on our hair, but a lot of times I see it on the scalp. So when you're taking the glue off, especially if you're not taking it off incorrectly, because you're supposed to oil it and just slowly just lift. But a lot of times, and I'm seeing it in the clinical setting, where people are rushing, Kimberly, to get these weaves out, and they're not taking their time moisturizing their hair, oil in their hair to kind of like loosen, you know what I mean, Kimberly, the weave. So I'm seeing a lot of breakage that way, because when you're removing the glue too quickly, or if you're removing the glue and it's not loose enough, you are literally ripping out your hair strands. You're ripping out, and a lot of times I see it ripping out the follicles and the bulb. And at that point, when that happens, there's no way a hair strand can go through that follicle. The follicle is gone as well as the bulb. And that could be one or two strands, but what if that's many? So that's a lot of times how that bulb patch gets started, because we're literally ripping out the hair, the follicle, and taking the bulb with it. So that's another issue. The other thing I see is those who are sewing in the weaves, which is a little more beneficial than glue. I get that. That's wonderful too. And again, the issue more is removing the weave, because then what I'm saying is we're gluing in the weaves, and I'm not gluing, I'm sorry, we're sewing in the weaves, and then we're cutting out the thread. So when they sit in a chair and I'm going through, because they're saying, it's, I'm losing hair here and I'm losing hair here, and I can see where their hair has broken off or has been cut so bad, because they're snipping they're snipping the thread, but they're also snipping their hair, Kimberly.
Yeah, I think we should have a new word where we call it unstyling, because
Yes.
I do agree that
Mhm.
taking down your hairstyle is probably when your hair is the most vulnerable, right?
It
Because
is. Mhm.
it's dry and it's been sitting, and so we have to get it to be more pliable and focus on that. Yeah, I had a major mishap with my baby girl, and we all have breakage. We
We
all do
all
things
do. It's
sometimes.
inevitable. You're going to have some kind of
Uh-huh.
breakage. That is just inevitable, but we can minimize it. We
Yeah, so
really
she's
can.
she's learning how to take her hair out, because I think people get so frustrated and impatient. And another thing I've noticed that really it has to be a mind shift is that we want our hair to feel silky and smooth when that is not necessarily the texture. So sometimes people get frustrated by the way the hair feels, thinking that it's something wrong with it. And so when you're taking down your style, it may feel a little gritty, it may feel a little dry, but you still want to give the hair the love and affection that it deserves. So yeah, my
Absolutely.
daughter, she, taking out her twist and doesn't feel like doing it. And I'm like, you gotta learn. And she's just combing. I'm like, baby, did you put oil on it and water? Oh no. I'm so skipping steps, taking shortcuts, not thinking and planning how you're going to and start taking it out. Also, going in sections, right? Because people get overwhelmed and they just start doing it arms and
Yes, Kimberly.
hands and get it, and it's tangling around and you just ripping it out because you
Yes.
want to get on to the next style.
The
No,
next, yep,
we
yes.
gotta finish this style first. So we gotta talk about unstyle.
Yeah,
That's
let's talk
our
about
new
that.
world.
So, and to be honest, Kimberly, I was that person, and I'm a very fast person. People, I talk fast, I move fast. I'm just a very fast person. And because of that, I'm that type who just want to just do something and get it over with so I can move on to the next thing. And that's fine in life, but we cannot do that with our hair. Okay. So I remember back in the day when I first started wearing twists, and I used to do the single lace braids, and I used to do it on my own hair. And I was already just a little irritated that it took me almost 10 hours to put it in. So, my takedown, this has to be less than an hour. And I realized how much hair loss I had and how much hair breakage I had, just rushing, taking down my hair. So here's what I started to do. And I have retained length. Most of you guys know I'm probably in about 2 weeks. I'm going to put my hair in twists. I have a lot going on where I just have to wear my hair out right now. But most of you know that I do single strand twists like all the time. And I try to leave my twists in about maybe 6 to 8 weeks. the longer you leave it in, the little more shedding you're going to have. So you leave it in longer, you have to be a little more careful. So here's what I do. Kimberly, you're absolutely right. I put my hair in sections. Now I'm talking about unstyling your takedown. When it's time to take all that out, put your hair in sections. I normally take my hair and I split it in two and I split it in two. So I have four. I have four sections, and I tend to work from the back to the front. First thing you want to do is never, ever, ever take down your hair on dry hair. You always want to wet your hair. Wetting your hair, like Kimberly said, makes your hair more pliable and less prone to breakage. When you're combing your hair on dry hair, it's stretching and it's snapping. That's what's happening. And because your hair has already been in a protective style for a long time, you don't want to cause shock because your hair hasn't been combed, it hasn't been brushed. So you want to make sure that you saturate your hair with water. The next thing I do, I'm telling you, which is going to save your life, get you some cheap conditioner. My go-to conditioner is Suave coconut conditioner. I think it's Suave Naturals coconut conditioner. It's like $2 at Walmart. You can get it at Walgreens. You can get it at CVS. And the reason why I say Suave or something like that, get you some kind of cheap conditioner because it's going down the drain anyway. You don't want to use any kind of high-end conditioner to do what I'm explaining to you, for you to do. So again, and Suave Naturals is one of the more organic conditioners, better ingredients, and it's cheap and it's good. So again, saturate your hair with water, get you a glob of that conditioner, okay, and rake it through your hair. I don't even use oil. That conditioner is just a one step, just rake it through. And what the conditioner does is it gives it slip. It gives it a lot of slip. So that way your hair, when you're combing through, it just glides through. And a lot of people will come to me and say, oh my God, my hair's falling out. I just took down my braids. No, not necessarily. Remember, you haven't combed your hair. You haven't brushed your hair in a while. So that is just shedded hair, which has not had a chance to shed because it's been in a protective style.
Mm-hmm.
So shedded hair is embedded into those twists. So don't get alarmed by that. The third thing I do, this is just me. This is just, how I retain length, and what works for me is I will do a glob of conditioner. Like I said, wet my hair, do a glob of conditioner, and I finger detangle. And I'm not a comb person. For me, the pads of my fingers and just my fingers are the safest styling tool. I will finger detangle. I would take my hands and rake it through, and I will separate. And what separating does is it helps to ease that shedded hair that's embedded in your hair down the hair shaft. And I just rake it through. So the shedded hair will travel down into my fingers, which I will pluck somewhere, and I will just keep finger detangling. I finger detangle. And then I take that one section and put it in one big twist. And I do that for all four sections. And then that way, my hair isn't breaking. Okay. I am maintaining moisture throughout the entire takedown process. I cannot stress that enough. Anytime you're taking down a weave, anytime you're taking down braids, single strand twist, it doesn't matter if your hair is in a protective style. Using a conditioner to coat your hair while it's wet is going to save your life. Seriously. And if you decide, hey, I work better if I comb my hair instead of finger detangling, fine. Just make sure that you coat your hair with conditioner. Do it in sections because you're going to have fairy tale knots. When I take down my twist, sometimes you ever do that, Kimberly, and you get that one big knot and it's like, uh-oh. And you try to comb through and it's a little stuck. No, take your finger and work it through. If you have to, I tend to like pinch and just maneuver and just work out those little kinks. Never just find, get a knot or feel a knot and just yank. Never do that. Maneuver through it. And that's what the conditioner is going to do. It's going to help loosen up those knots that form, loosen up those fairy tale knots. I'm telling you, that conditioner is going to save your life. It is. And then when you shampoo your hair with that conditioner, again, you're maintaining the moisture. So your hair is not drying out. That conditioner helps to smooth the hair shaft So it makes that shampoo process much, much easier. I do that every single time. And if I don't have time to do that, Kimberly, I don't take down my hair.
So let me jump in here. Let's get ready
Mhm.
to take a quick break. We're going to come back on the other side. So, Kim, I think you have something you want to ask her right after that. But we'll be right back after this message.
In a world where convenience meets diversity, there's one marketplace that stands out from the rest. Welcome to FireCART, your ultimate destination for all things shopping. At FireCART, we believe in bringing you not just the everyday essentials, but also a curated selection of cultural and handmade products that celebrate diversity and craftsmanship from around the globe. Whether you're looking for the latest gadgets, trendy fashion pieces, or one-of-a-kind artisanal creations, FireCART has you covered. Our diverse range of products caters to every taste and preference. But that's not all. Introducing our exciting affiliate program, Firestarters, where you have the opportunity to earn money by being a FireCART seller or by referring customers through your affiliate link with generous commissions. Imagine making passive income simply by sharing products you love with your friends and followers. With FireCART, it's not just about shopping, it's about building your own success story. And here's the kicker. During our exclusive launch period, you can take advantage of discounted pricing and special perks available only to our founding members. So why wait? Join the FireCART revolution today and experience shopping like never before. FireCART, where every purchase ignites a world of opportunity. For more information, visit firecart.shop. Your journey to endless possibilities starts now.
Okay, we're back. Thank you all for joining us. We're here with Tara T, and Kimberly Elliott. We are glad to have you come and take this time out to share in the conversation. We're talking about dealing with breakage, and Kim, you had something you wanted to say.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Darryl. You have a mom and sisters, and Tara was talking about raking a comb through people's hair. I remember that as a little girl, and my head was moving.
Oh my gosh. I
Have you
remember those days.
witnessed that, Darryl, from your friends
I remember those days.
getting their hair combed? How was it?
Oh my God.
Well, watching it was, well, my response was, well, I'll never do that. And it just seemed to be such a tedious process. Of course, I grew up with hot cones being heated up on the stove, and you're in the kitchen and all types of I can't even tell you half the stuff that was sitting on that kitchen table that they were applying in the hair. It's probably banned in most countries at this point. But what my experience was really watching the painful process of it all. Just seeing, like you said, that if the head is jerking and you always hear the "ouch, mama." All of that came with it. So that's from my view. That what I saw is that you automatically think, is this worth it? That's what the question was to
For
me.
us, no.
Is it really worth all of that? That was my response.
Yeah, was it worth it? And did the men really care that much? I don't know. Was it pampering?
Right.
I was raised with the motto that beauty knows no pain, and I'm like, I don't want
Yeah.
painful. I mean, to a certain degree, it's work. Beauty is work, but I hope that beauty doesn't have to be pain anymore. So,
Absolutely.
unless it's working out, but that's a different,
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
I wanted to add something really, really quickly, because something else that I am learning for all those who are, have their own regimens and they're doing their hair at home and they're styling their hair at home. Because what I'm finding is a lot of clients are coming to me for treatment, and a lot of them don't have a stylist, and I get it. I love stylists. God knows I do. I've been traumatized. So I had been doing my hair for, oh my gosh, probably since I was 25. I just started doing my hair. I went in for a trim, and got a whole haircut. You know, I got a color from hell. Like when when I say traumatized, so I personally stopped going to stylists, but I love them. God knows I do. But I'm finding that more and more people are choosing to take care of their own hair for one reason or another. These are the queens that I want to talk to, because a lot of them are coming to me not for styling, but for hair treatment or hair loss, or to help them with a regimen. So this is very important, guys, since we're talking about breakage. If you are styling and doing your hair at home, and you are shampooing your hair, because I'll ask, okay, so what is your conditioning process? Well, I don't condition. Well, okay, well, what do you mean you don't condition? No deep condition, no leave-in, no anything. Guys, it is crucial that you moisturize your hair after shampoo. And I know for some people, they're more focused on just making sure the hair is clean, and and they're going straight to styling. No, 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 no. It is imperative that you use some kind of conditioner, preferably a deep conditioner. If you don't have a hooded dryer, which I know some people don't, put a conditioner on your head, okay, on your hair. Get you a hot towel, wrap it around your head for about 10-15 minutes. Repeat that process for about 10 to 15 minutes to infuse that moisture and that steam into your hair. If you uh, don't feel like going through that whole process with the towel and all of that, get you some conditioner, put it on your hair. Get you a plastic cap, okay? Just a regular plastic cap. Put it on your head. Go to sleep. That is deep conditioning overnight. That is what we call the greenhouse effect, because what's going to happen is your scalp is going to automatically generate heat, which is going to open up the hair shaft and allow whatever product you have on your hair to penetrate. At the end of the day, you have to condition. Now, those are deep conditioning techniques. If you don't have time for that, okay, fine, I get it. At least use a leave-in. Not using some kind of conditioner, not moisturizing your hair at all, it's not that it might cause breakage, it will. Not moisturizing, not using a leave-in, not hydrating your hair in some shape or form is going to lead to breakage. Our hair is naturally dry, especially when you shampoo, you're stripping it from all moisture, from all protection. So you're going to leave your hair prone to breakage if you don't infuse that moisture back into your hair. And again, because our hair is kinky, it's curly, and things of that nature, we have to keep it moisturized. We have to keep it pliable. That's what the moisture does. It keeps it pliable. So when you then go to style your hair, it's not snapping, it's not brittle, it's not dry. Because a lot of people say, oh my gosh, I don't know why my hair is dry. So when I talk to them about their regimen as far as moisturizing, I'm hearing that more and more people, not just women, but men, they're not moisturizing. So that's very, very, very important. Also, too, we're moisturizing if your hair is snapping, and very, very dry as well. More so snapping. You may need a protein treatment. Okay, that's something we probably need to talk about on the podcast. But you need a protein treatment. Protein treatments are very, very important. Our hair is made up of majority protein. I may get in trouble, Kimberly, but I'm going to say it. You ready? I'm going
What?
to say
What you
it.
gonna say?
When people come in here and their hair is snapping and they're breaking, because first of all, I am a holistic trichologist. I don't use chemicals. I know they have all these repair masks and I'm not going to name no names and all this other stuff, but I am old school. Sometimes, guys, we just do too much. You hear me say that all the time. We do too much. And we need to go back to what works. So if someone comes in here and I see all this breakage and I just see all this, and I'll say, you know what, you need, sweetheart, you need a protein treatment. You need, and they'll be like, okay, that's fine. And I'll put them in that chair and I'll say, you know what, I'll be right back. And because I deal with natural ingredients, I have all this stuff in house. Kimberly, prepare yourself. I will go back there and I will get me an egg. I got me some mayonnaise.
Mm-hmm.
I got me some olive oil. Okay. And I will whip up a whole bowl. Baby, have a seat. Okay. And I go back to old school. We're sleeping on old school. And I have been doing egg and male treatments for my hair, oh my gosh, since forever. And I don't care what I've used on the shelf, what I've used in the past, my hair has never, ever been as healthy and has responded to some kind of strengthening product or ingredient like hair, like egg and mayonnaise. I'm just being honest. And then by the time I finish, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, there's no hair in the comb." Go back to old school. Go back to old school. But you really have to, look at your hair, learn your hair, and know the difference between needing moisture and needing protein. Because a lot of times our hair is breaking because we're lacking protein. And not just protein in products, but eating protein, your eggs and your chicken, and you're taking your vitamins. That's crucial too in preventing or at least minimizing hair breakage. I know we're probably going to get a whole lot of comments on that one, because a lot of people are like, it don't penetrate. Listen, it works, and it's healthy, and it's natural.
I live by olive oil.
Girl, listen.
I detangle my hair with olive oil.
Yes.
I'm not a conditioner person because my hair is super kinky and coily and tight. So when I wet it, it's just going to shrink up.
Yep.
And that's really hard for me to get it back out. So I like to use the olive oil and a little water, not too much water.
Nope, you don't need a lot.
It breaks down the dirt and to detangle the hair. So I put olive oil on my skin. I put olive oil on my food. I put olive oil on my hair.
Yes. And people don't.
I'm an olive oil person. Coconut oil.
I am proud of you. And a lot of people may not know when it comes to oils, because all oils don't penetrate. Olive oil and coconut oil is one of the few oils that actually penetrate the hair shaft to repair and nourish and restore.
Oh, wow.
So not only are you just putting it on your hair, it's literally infusing into your hair, into those deep, deep bond structures, and it's actually repairing and nourishing. Yeah. Wow. I love olive oil.
Yeah, olive oil is my go-to. I figured if it's
very good
enough to eat, then it's healthy enough for my hair.
Yes. And my motto is, if you can't put it in your body, then why would you put it on your hair?
Uh-oh. Say that again, Tara. Wait a minute.
Go ahead, Tara.
Say it again, Tara.
If you can't put it in your body, then why put it on your hair?
I was saying that there's a whole lot of Jesus in our house, because you would believe that we went to the Mount of Olives with all the olive oil that we consume in this household. But yes, olive oil is very essential, and I think it's I think people are starting to rediscover
they are
past few years about the benefit of olive oil. Is that right?
They are. Absolutely.
It used to start thinking my mom's cabinet.
Every few years, though, they market us a fancy oil, because we had the jojoba, then we had the argan, and all the different.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure have.
Yeah. So there is one more thing I want to touch on, since we're talking about breakage.
So before you go there, let me stop you there. Let's take a break. Okay. I want to fit in a quick break real quick, and then hold that thought, Tara. We'll be right back after this.
All right.
Hey guys, it's Tara Gregory, trichologist, manufacturer, and hair loss survivor. Welcome to my clinical treatment center in Towson, Maryland, where we holistically focus on the hair and scalp issues from the root cause, along with our #1 selling clinical collection, a 4-step system that includes our top selling hair and scalp paste, formulated for alopecia, breakage, thinning, and shedding. So schedule your virtual appointment or same-day consultation and scalp exam for only $99. Click the booking link on the website. And I'm so glad to finally meet you, because today, hair loss stops here.
So everybody, make sure you get to see Tara, our most and highly skilled trichologist. You can also make appointments, and you can also find her store right there on the banner below at FireCART.shop/Ayurs. And we want you to make sure you take advantage of those deals. I don't want to break the flow, guys. So go ahead, Tara. What is that you were trying to say?
Yeah, so I just wanted to touch on one more thing that's very, very important. when it comes to hair breakage, when it comes to damaged hair, getting regular trims. I know our hair is in our natural state, and I know it's curly, so a lot of times we can't tell if we need a trim. Now, let me just share this with you. When it comes to natural hair, we don't have to trim as often as someone who has permed hair. The only time you have to, this is me personally, trim a little more often than usual is if you are natural and you are flat ironing your hair or getting those silk presses, because it is the heat. Because this is a two-part thing: getting regular trims and scaling back on excessive heat. Those are the two main things that can cause hair breakage as well. So if you are flat ironing again, um, um, getting those silk presses and all of that, yes, you're going to have to trim your hair a little often. The best way to minimize breakage is to, again, scale back on the heat. Give your hair a break. Definitely give your hair a break. I understand, for some naturals, they like to wear their hair stretched out, Kimberly. You know what I mean? Um, Everyone doesn't want to wear their hair in its natural state all the time. I get it. Me personally, I don't use any heat. This is just my preference. I don't use any heat. So because I don't use heat, probably gonna get a lot of comments on this, but I'm telling you, I had this length for a reason. I trim my hair about every 6 to 8 months.
Oh,
And I
okay.
can do that because I don't use heat. That's number one. I keep my hair in a protective style. That's number two. And I make sure that I deep condition and I steam regularly. That's number three. I'm telling you those three reasons. And because my hair is in the protective style, unless I have something to do, I have an event or something, because my hair is in a protective style, it's not breaking because my hair isn't just out. The way that Kimberly has her hair, if she was to wear that bun, let's say 90% of the time, and her ends are tucked, how is her hair breaking? So when you protect your ends and they're tucked and you're not manipulating, you're not combing, you're not breaking your hair. I mean, you're not using any kind of mechanical brushes and things of that nature. Then you minimize the breakage because you're not constantly pulling and manipulating the hair. The less you do to it and the more you leave it alone, the less breakage you'll have. So getting regular trims, again, if you are flat ironing, blow drying your hair using any kind of heat, you're going to have to trim your hair a little more often. Even for those who are all natural and you're not using any heat, you still need regular trims because your hair, there is no, I can't sit here and say your hair will never break. It will. I mean, it's just going out into the elements and the wind blowing and all, it's going to break, but you can minimize it. We have to trim. If there's hair damage from coloring, from perming, just make sure that you get regular hair trims. If you don't, that breakage is going to get worse. That damage is going to get worse. Back to heat. Again, I don't use any kind of flat ironing. I don't even blow dry my hair. So for those of you who are blow drying, that is your method of just, part of your styling practice. Maybe reconsider just letting your hair air dry. So I do stretch my hair. My process really, really quickly, because I know we got to go, is my hair's wet. I shampoo, I condition, the whole nine is now wet. I towel dry as much as I possibly can. And then I just and I do a leave-in, oil like we do, Kimberly, and I let my hair dry as much as it possibly can on its own. And then I would take my hair in 4 sections or 6, and I would do twists. And I will leave it like that all night long. So when I take down the twist, my hair is stretched. It's not, there's a difference. Not straight, stretched. And see what we're looking for when we're heating, when we are silk pressing, because we want our hair straightened. And the only way you can straighten natural hair is to apply heat. But if you stretch your hair, it's the same length. It's just a little, it's just a different texture. But I will stretch my hair. And I do that every now and then. Like Kimberly's hair is stretched. Okay. And the more you pull it back or put it in a twist or put it in brace, it will elongate those coils and curls. That's it. So think about just minimizing some heat and just let your hair air dry, a
I
couple
do.
times a week.
I use
Go ahead,
heat, as you
Kimberly.
can see, because my hair is tight, 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 tight. My hair is
Yes.
super tight. It's like
Yes.
woolly like a sheep. But I do half air dry, half blow dry, meaning that I stretch it in braids while it's
Mm-hmm.
wet. I
Mm-hmm.
let it air dry like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm using minimal heat once it's
Minimal.
already stretched and a heat protector. Use a
Very
good
important.
quality heat protector.
Kimberly, let them know what you're using, sweetheart. What are you
Oh,
using?
you know what? I found the one I use that's pretty okay and not super
Okay.
expensive. I have two. I have one I bought from, I can't even remember, from a specialty salon. So it's like a
Okay.
salon grade product. But I use Garnier Fructis. I like their heat protector.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
also like their leave-in conditioner for just a quick, and sometimes I'll use the heat protector as like a glaze when I'm styling my hair too, because it's
Yes.
a very light, thin type oil as a coating, so it gives me the slip when I'm styling my
I
hair.
love it. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll use a little heat protector and blow dry in small
Very important.
sections, so I don't have to keep breaking through and
Mm-hmm.
snapping the blow dryer. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how I get my stretch hair. So
It is
half air
beautiful.
dry, half blow dry. Now
Yes.
some of our girls are fancy. I haven't got one yet, but have you heard of that reverse osmosis
Oh
hair
Lord Jesus.
dryer
Yes,
and
I
wet
have.
hair?
Oh God, you
I'm
know what?
like, it's
Please
a
just
good couple 4 stacks, and I think I might want to get that.
I heard,
It's real slow for
I've heard
us,
and I've
but
seen.
I've heard that it's pretty good. I'm
Yeah,
not there yet.
I've heard. I've definitely heard of that. But I am so proud of you.
Yeah,
That heat protecting guys, never blow dry and flat iron and your hair is not protected with something.
yeah.
Something that is very, very, very important. So thank you, Kimberly, for those for those tips as far as like products, because for some people who are not using hair, heat protected, may not know,
Oh,
what to use, what to do. I have hair oils here that actually do as hair protectants.
oh,
So some people, yeah, blow dry, flat iron with that, but use something to protect your hair. That is very, very, very important. Yeah.
okay.
So,
Supplements.
so what would we say is the biggest takeaway item, or the best summary of what we've been talking about in terms of, uh, you talked about protecting just now, but also stretching the hair, and then in the process. And I think we should definitely have that other podcast about the process of taking your hair out and all of that, because everything requires a lot of detail, doesn't it?
Well, it
I wouldn't say
kind of
detail.
requires
Yeah.
understanding the basic mechanics of things. And I would say the key summary of everything that Tara said is moisturize your hair at all times.
At all times.
At
Yeah.
all times.
Yeah. And then what I want to really, really, really reiterate as a takeaway is, and I'm not saying don't do any of these things. Don't y'all weave and don't you braid. The biggest takeaway I want you to take away is whatever you do it minimally.
Yeah.
In between, take breaks. Give your hair a break. The same way, when we're eating, and listen, I am the queen of a chicken box. I ain't even gonna say here and lie. Listen, I'm not. I love food,
Salt, pepper, ketchup.
but
Hey.
listen, but every now and then you have to take a break. You eat a salad, drink more water,
Uh-huh.
drink a smoothie. You have to have balance. So I'm not saying don't do these things, but minimize. It shouldn't be all the time. Like a weave should not be your go-to style. And I understand there's going to be some times where it's like, Tara, I don't have time to be sitting underneath the hair this dry. And I get that. And you may skip. I get that. I get that. But just find balance. Heat, flat iron, I get it. But in between those styles, do some protective styles. Have a week where it's just a heatless week. That's all I'm saying. Find
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah,
Your hair will
because
thank you.
we want to look a certain way, but we have to have a special occasion look and an everyday look.
And that's
Not
me.
adjustable. I have
That is
special
me.
occasion
Yeah,
makeup
but my
and
hair is
everyday
out.
makeup because my
Yeah,
skin cannot.
yeah, yeah. But other than that, my hair is in a protective. You guys don't see it out there. But when I'm not in front of a camera or I'm doing an event or I have to speak or something, my hair is in a protective style. It's only when there's lights, camera, action, and we have to, present, my hair is out. Other than that, it's not. Yeah, protect your hair at all costs, guys. Never give up on your hair. That's my motto. Never, ever, ever give up on your hair.
Well, guys, we're gonna stop it here to get ready for next week. Everybody, we thank you all so much for spending time with us today here on the Hair and Scalp Diaries. This is a great discussion just because a lot of people are kind of on their own. Sometimes your upbringing doesn't allow you to have all of the knowledge or your situation, or maybe you're very busy and you don't have the time and you have to find the time. Take these things, apply them for your own personal time, but two, also most important, make sure you contact Tara and let her know that you would like to book a consultation, give you a chance to examine more about what are the best things that fit you. And I think that you can walk away greatly, greatly enriched in your hair journey. And we want you to enjoy the best self that you can enjoy. So, and don't forget, on FireCART, we are still in the middle of our launch period. The platform is growing. What's amazing about it is we have partners are adding, partners are adding, and vendors are adding. So if you're a vendor and you would like to sell on FireCART, make sure you visit us today at firecart.shop and you can check out the vendors link. We are right there that you can be able to upload your products, a seamless process, and we look forward to you enjoying and growing your business as well on FireCART. Ladies, it's been a blast.
Yay!
I had so much fun.
I know. I look forward to this every Monday. I love you guys. I know. I love you guys.
Yes. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. This is Darryl Elliott with Tara T and Kimberly Elliott. And make sure you tune in and see us next week. Replay these videos, share them with somebody, and you can
like, comment, and share.
Yes, you can keep on commenting because we will give you answers. Thank you so much and have an awesome day.
Yes. Bye, guys.